The Los Angeles Lakers just acquired Dorian Finney-Smith, who over the years has been one of the better 3-and-D players across the league. But just how good is Finney-Smith right now? And how exactly will his game fit with LA? Now with the Mavs, Finney-Smith made a name for himself with his perimeter defense, where standing at 6'7", with a 7'1" wingspan, he could pretty effectively hold the zone against the NBA's best perimeter scorers. But over the past few years with Brooklyn, we've seen his defensive role get shaken up a ton, where the Nets commonly played him at the 4 or 5, which tasked him with guarding one of the opposing team's big. And while I wouldn't say DFS is a perfect defender on the block, he was still able to provide consistent resistance down low. And because Finney-Smith is accustomed to defending wings and guards, he was also very effective in guarding the more skilled bigs, who typically initiate their offense from the perimeter. We'll see Jaren Jackson here catch and get ahead of his team to go at Doe, but watch how he's able to cut off his drive to his left, to then stay attached to the spin move. And from here, that 7'1" wingspan can take care of the rest. Modern NBA offenses today also like to use their big as the primary ball handler in pick and roll, which is normally a headache for defenses, because most centers defending the ball don't have the mobility to navigate through ball screens. But having a defender like Finney-Smith defending the ball completely blows up these actions. Throughout this season, I've also been really impressed with Finney-Smith's help defense in the paint. Off the ball, Finney-Smith has really good awareness by constantly keeping track of his man in the ball and being ready to rotate and cover up defensive breakdowns. In the paint, I wouldn't say Finney-Smith has the verticality of other elite shot blockers, but he does have really good timing and length, which is more than enough to alter shots around the basket.
Here is Bay.
Now, Finney-Smith being able to provide value in the paint is just another wrinkle to his defense. But with LA, I see him primarily getting back to defending on the perimeter. And this is where I think his mobility plays a huge factor, because that's what allows him to slide and keep the ball in front, funneling the offense into difficult contested pull-ups. Plus, that length can also disrupt passes. We'll see Grady Dick here rip towards the baseline, and watch Finney-Smith here slide over and reach all the way across to snag this wraparound pass. And that quickness also carries over to his defense off the ball, where he can commit himself deep and help to then scramble out and take away the shot and drive. Watch him here on the weak side shift down to tag the roller, to then rotate back out and run Devin Vassell off the line. And even when Vassell gets this much space, Doe still has the reach to take away his pull-up. We can see more of that length and quickness on this play, where Finney-Smith again runs the shooter off the line, then stays attached to his hip, and alters his finish at the rim.
Long strides.
And like we saw with his defense in the paint, Finney-Smith's awareness is what really ties everything together, by again constantly being aware of what's happening on the floor and always being early on his rotations. And some of these reads are pretty simple, but they still have a huge impact on the court. Take this play for example. His teammate at the top of the key initially gets blown by, but watch how Finney-Smith in gap shifts up towards the ball and forces this difficult step back too. I also love this play here, where Ja Morant is initiating his attack from half court, and Doe just sliding over and providing extra help is enough to draw a turnover. So overall, I think Finney-Smith is one of the most versatile and reliable defenders across the league, and he gives the Lakers some much needed wing defense, while also having the ability to switch and pick up point guards, as well as match up with bigger forwards down low. Now when switching over and looking at Finney-Smith's offense, the first place where we have to start is his 3-point shooting. Doe's percentages over the years have been pretty up and down, but so far this year he's been shooting over 43% from behind the line. And considering the amount of talent he's going to be on the floor with in LA, I think he's going to get plenty of in-rhythm catch and shoot threes. So there's no reason why Finney-Smith can't continue to shoot over 40% from behind the line. Now mechanically, I do think Doe has some underrated elements to his shot. First, I think he's got really good mechanics, by always having his feet planted before he catches, and getting the ball to his set point with no major dips or hitches. Notice on this play how Doe is going to step left right into this catch, and from here he gets the ball right to his left point to fire. this shot here is pretty tough, where Doe receives his pass above his shoulders, and instead of bringing the ball down to reset, he's gonna instead immediately lift up into his jumper. Off the ball, I also think Finney-Smith has really good balance and footwork, where he's comfortable blasting off screens and shifting to open spots, to then settle his feet for on-balance jumpers. And this just adds more versatility to his shooting game.
In the first half, it's Finney-Smith for the lead. Cash!
And Finney-Smith also has a good feel of reading the defense and relocating to open space on the perimeter. We'll see the ball here get driven towards the middle, and Finney-Smith in the corner is going to shift up towards the wing, creating this clear passing window.
Finney-Smith.
So because Finney-Smith is both an accurate shooter and has the ability to get shots off quickly, he commonly draws aggressive closeouts on the perimeter, which he can then leverage to initiate downhill drives. And while I wouldn't say Doe has a super dynamic handle, he still has a good feel of reading angles off the catch and exploding into open space. Notice on this play how aggressively this defender is shifting out to run Doe off the line, but as Finney-Smith rips towards the baseline, it's pretty much impossible for him to stop his momentum. I love the footwork DFS uses here, where he gallops his feet up on the catch, giving himself the momentum to explode to the basket in one dribble. Around the rim, Finney-Smith also has a good feel of angles. Watch him here beat Zach Edey with this simple shot fake and rip. And to avoid the shot blocker, Doe is going to gather off 2 feet and get to this reverse layup on the other side of the rim. Off the ball, I also think Finney-Smith is a pretty underrated cutter, and this is where everything comes back to his basketball feel, by simply reading his man honing in on the ball to then blast into open space. And cuts like this are going to for sure be available for him playing alongside LeBron and AD. Finney-Smith throughout this season has also done some good work in transition, where again I don't think he has elite skills as a ball handler, but his combination of length and quickness does make him a good play finisher, by just running out and filling lanes to then catch and explode into finishes. So offensively, I'm not sure how much Finney-Smith is going to move the needle for LA. He doesn't have much depth to his game as an on-ball scorer or creator, but he does have the tools to be an effective scorer off the ball. He's shown that he can shoot over 40% from 3, while having the tools to punish aggressive closeouts off the dribble. Plus, Doe also has a really good basketball feel, which he can use to move and relocate on the perimeter, as well as cut into open space. So while Finney-Smith may not be a major plus for the Lakers on offense, I also don't think he's going to be a major negative. And considering how much value and versatility he brings on defense, I think DFS is going to have a positive overall impact for the Lakers. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments who the kids should break down next. The kids here.